We all know birds are pretty little animals that are associated with love and freedom. However, not all birds live up to these stereotypes. And today, we'll be listing you some fierce birds that mean business when you dare cross the line. You wouldn't dare to pick a fight with them because they aren't scared to take down a human. From raging ostriches to beautiful yet cranky swans, here are 10 most fearless birds in the world. Number 10. Northern Gannet. Native to the coasts of the Atlantic Ocean, the northern gannets have been primed to thrive since the beginning of time. It measures about 87 to 100 centimeters long with a wingspan of 67 to 75 inches. Their feeding method is very impressive, as they make high-speed dives into the sea to catch some fish. They're not heavily predated, as they're predators themselves. They only bow down when it comes to the bald eagles and the white-tailed eagles. They're very aggressive and use their beaks to stab their victims, which are mostly fish. They've never attacked humans, so it's safe to say we're off the hook when it comes to these birds. Number 9. Ostrich. This interesting flightless bird is the world's largest bird. It grows up to 9 feet tall and weighs more than 150 kilograms. They're mostly found in Africa. Though they're flightless birds, they sure are incredible runners with a top speed of 30 miles per hour and 45 miles per hour if frightened. But that's not their only strength. It's been advised not to mess with an ostrich, as their attacks are known to be fatal. Weird enough, the power of the ostrich lies on its strong legs. The ostrich kick is enough to send you to your creator. A two-toe leg with the main toe evolved almost like a claw that slashes the predator. Yeah, you heard that right. Many occasions of ostrich attacks on humans have been reported over the past years. Luckily, none were fatal, as the ostrich acted out of being provoked by humans. As for predator animals like hyenas, lions, and cheetahs, they tend not to be spared by these ostriches. They surely don't mess around. Teach me your ways, dear ostrich. People have been testing me lately. Number 8. Emu. We can't mention one member of the family and leave the other behind, can we? The emu is the second largest bird in the world that looks remarkably similar to their ostrich cousins. Native to Australia and New Guinea, these birds have been around since the time of the dinosaurs. How they managed to survive all those years is simply because of their aggressiveness towards life. Like its relative, they have great speeds, and they can dash away at nearly 30 miles per hour at full speed. They also have full, powerful legs, which they use to defend themselves from predators. An emu's size alone can be intimidating, especially when they stand up very tall and fluff up their feathers over their neck to make themselves look bigger in front of their predators. It's best to know that a female emu is more aggressive, especially when protecting its young or egg nest. Though they may have a bad reputation for attacking humans, it's been observed that they do that on account of being provoked. When approaching an emu, it's advised to do that by kneeling down. This way, they don't feel insecure, and if it turns its head away or walks away, don't follow it. Most importantly, if the emu doesn't look friendly, it's best to leave it alone. Number 7. Red-tailed hawk. Meet the red-tailed hawk, the most common hawk species in North America. This is one intimidating bird that wouldn't have dared miss in this list. It's a vicious hunter that hunts in daytime hours and incredibly fast with its target. Trust me, you wouldn't realize what happened. They tend to prey on animals smaller than them, that is 4 pounds or less. The most targeted animals are chickens and rats. But this doesn't mean your kitchen is off the table, because it isn't. So don't leave your puppies and kittens alone outside. Using their sharp talons, they topple and grasp their prey from behind, leaving them surprised a few feet above ground. Apart from hunting, They're also hostile during nesting season when the hawks are very protective of their baby chicks. Any human that happens to be near the nest during that time may end up hospitalized. These sharp claws that cause deep cuts to the victim can spread some diseases. If that's not enough reason to stay away from hawks, then you're in for good trouble. Number 6. LAMMERGEIER. Forget about the red-tailed hawk. The LAMMERGEIERs are enough to scare the socks off you. When the wise said looks can be deceptive, they definitely had counted the LAMMERGEIER off the equation. Well, don't be scared yet. There's a twist. Also called the bearded vultures, these large birds are commonly mistaken for the eagle, if not for their shagger and more sinister look. Native to Central Asia and Eastern Africa, these birds are more than 1 meter in length and have a wingspread of nearly 3 meters. The birds dine on carrion and bones, meaning they aren't much of a threat to living creatures. They tend to drop their bones 260 feet onto the flat rocks below to crack open their prey's bones, just to access the marrow. The problem comes when you're walking into the territory and they drop the bones on your head. Then the drop could be really fatal. This thought is brought about by the story of an Athenian dramatist, Aeschylus, who said to have strangely passed at Gela when a lammergeier dropped a tortoise on his bald head after mistaking it for a stone. Luckily for us, the chances of that happening is about as much as winning the lottery twice. Does this mean that humans might be safe from the lammergeier after all? Yes, it does. Number 5. Cassowaries. If it's not in the Guinness Book of Records as the world's most dangerous bird, then it deserves to be on the list. These flightless birds are native to the rainforests of Australia and are closely related to the emu and ostrich. It seems that this family isn't one to be joked with. They're heavier and faster than the emu, sprinting as fast as 31 miles per hour. Like the other family members, they deliver fatal blows with their feet and also have 3 toes. What makes the bird fatal is the fact that at the innermost of the 3 toes bears a dagger-like nail capable of slicing the victim. In the wild, the claws serve them well as no animal dares go near them. They're very protective of their eggs and young ones, and anyone who goes close to them is in danger of serious injuries despite who they are. Number 4. Mute swans. Do you remember as a child, after watching The Swan Princess, all you wanted to do is be friends with a swan? But you were repeatedly told to stay away from the swan, and you'd wondered why, since they look so adorable. Well, today you'll get to know why, and you'll thank me for that. The mute swans are one of the largest waterfowl, weighing about 26 pounds. They're beautiful creatures who love swimming gracefully in ponds. But don't let their calm look on water fool you, because they can switch up and become hostile within a span of a minute. They don't take threats lightly, and they'll chase you, peck you, and fly at you with no mercy whenever they feel threatened in their territory. The male swans are quite the gentlemen and very territorial. They mate in lifelong pairs and set up homes for their wives and children. Intruding in their territory after setting up is what they hate most, and they don't hesitate to let you know. Though you won't break your leg or arm for their attack, it's safe to let the swans be. Back in 2012, a swan attacked a man in a kayak on Bay Colony Pond in Des Plaines. Unfortunately, the man fell off his boat and drowned. Number 3. Blue jays. The blue jay is a songbird native to northeastern America, and as you may have guessed, it's blue with a white chest. It measures about 9 to 12 inches in length with a wingspan of 34 to 43 centimeters and weighs 70 to 100 grams. For a bird this small, it's quite aggressive, provocative, narcissistic, noisy, bold, and very mean. The only disadvantage it has is being a moderately slow flyer. This often makes the bird fall prey to predator birds such as owls and hawks. Not to worry though, this bird ain't a quitter. That's where its voice comes in. They have a very annoying noise, which they use to not only avert fellow blue jays, but also other birds. They're also very good at mimicking the sounds of other creatures, and they do that to trick other birds that a predator is coming so as to have all the food to themselves. Clever, right? They love their space, making them territorial, and aren't afraid to attack any creature to protect what's theirs. Like most birds, they become more aggressive during the nesting and mating period. Number 2. Great Northern Loon. Is there something about diver birds that's making these creatures aggressive? These beautiful birds may look serene and peaceful, but will fiercely attack interlopers to their freshwater habitat, especially during the nesting season. They're commonly found in the northern United States, Canada, and southern parts of Iceland and Greenland. Like the mute swans, they're monogamous, breeding together and defending their territory for a lifetime. Their beaks are dagger-like and can shred and tear, stabbing the victim to its demise. What's even scarier is that they know the right places to attack in order to finish you, which are head, neck, and eyes. In a fight between eagle and loon, the loon happened to stab the eagle in the heart to protect its chick. Unfortunately, the chick didn't survive. Seeing the fate of the eagle, it's best to stay away from these birds at all costs. Number 1. The Australian magpie. Like the blue jays, the Australian magpie is a medium-sized songbird that is black and white. You'd mistake it for the American crow and raven, as they look very similar. But don't let their good looks fool you. These birds aren't in the good books. They're fiercely territorial, with reports of attacks every year. When they sense any threat around their nest, they will not hesitate to swoop at their intruder. If possible, they'd continue attacking, getting more aggressive each and every time. Their behavior is so common that people refer to their nesting season as swooping season. Tragically, the so-called swooping led to the demise of a 5-month-old baby in Australia at the end of one summer. The magpie apparently attacked the baby's mother, causing the mother to trip and fall, dropping the little girl. The baby was rushed to the hospital, but unfortunately, she didn't make it. So while it might not be okay to say that magpies are fatal to humans, we can create awareness for people to avoid them whenever they can. Until next time, adios.